Blessed be the name of the Lord. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll just get straight right into this message because I want to say it as fast as I can. What does it mean to have the fear of the Lord? Many people have been put off by this statement and by the fact that it is commanded to fear the Lord. Thou shalt fear the Lord. They're put off by this whole statement. They even turn their back on God. They turn their back on following Him, following the good path that He has set out for us because of the whole thing about fearing the Lord. Like God is a selfish God and He demands that you fear Him or something like that. I want to talk about that phrase because the fear of the Lord doesn't actually mean the fear of the Lord. It means the awe of the Lord. Like, God is awesome. Have the awe of the Lord. Do not take His love for granted. Do not abuse His love because they can have different arguments. God is not good. Oh, He demands fear. Why did He kill all of them? Why did He do that if He's such a loving God? Let me just say this. God loves His creation. He loves His people. For God so loved the world that He sent Yeshua to become that new Adam from where we can grow from and live in that tree of knowledge of life. The tree of life and life alone. Not the tree of knowledge of good and evil, because that is where the world is right now. The amount of fear they are perpetuating into people it's causing people to lose their faith. Because all this time when they should have been taught how to be the sons of God, they were not. It says that when in the end it shall be as in the times of Noah. So what does that mean? And I believe this is what is happening right now. The line is so obscure between what is right, what is permissible, what is good, what is wholesome for the spirit, soul, and body is so blurred right now with everything going on in the world, and just it seems like so quickly it's gone into such obscurity in the things of darkness, calling them okay, calling them light, and saying, it's okay. Like all this kind of knowledge, the knowledge that is being perpetuated in the world is the knowledge of good and evil. And it is causing men to lose sight of walking the path of God. God, as a good parent, has certain guidelines for us to live. And we follow those guidelines and we have a good and wholesome life. It says that He promises us multiplying our years and having a good and fulfilled life. That is a good parent's desire for their children. They're not going to give things that are going to be detrimental to them. Oh, well, God didn't allow me to eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. He's a bad God because someone else told me that. Are they a bad parent? They know what they're doing. There's certain things, there's certain laws and guidelines God has set up for us because it's for our benefit, because He's a good and loving Father. That fear, first of all, is not fear what you would think. It was fear meaning be in awe of Him. Be in awe of the love that your Creator has for you. Because He puts these things these guidelines for us, these laws that you would say. He puts these guidelines so that we could follow them, so it would lead us to having a good life. So we don't have to have a lot of trouble in our life. We don't have to go through that. Rebellion, a lot of rebellious people want those things, but yet they still want the blessing even though they do those things. If there is no awe of the Lord, if there is no that fear of the Lord, there is judgment. Because taking God's love for advantage, as grace, now there is so much grace. Should we continue sinning? Of course not. Why would you slap God in the face? He's sent his love upon the world through Yeshua Christ. And now you want to keep on doing the things of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, but yet still have the benefits? It doesn't work like that. You cannot take advantage of his love. You have to always be in respect, in awe, in appreciation, in thankfulness, in gratefulness for his love. In whatever way he gives that love to you every day. Is it in strength? Is it in keeping you strong? Is it in providing certain things for you? In whatever way it is. We are in awe of the love of the Lord, and we do not take his grace, his love, his mercy for granted. That is what it means to have the fear of the Lord. And if one does not, that love, that fear of the Lord or the awe of the Lord turns into judgment. Because God judges. He administers judgment. Elohim, the uppercase God, that Elohim administers judgment for those who are not in awe of awesomeness. How great, how awesome. Maybe people just don't know what he's done. They don't recognize what he's done in their life or what he's doing at the moment in their life. They don't recognize his hand. He's leading them in their life. So they don't have the awe of the Lord that causes them to be led astray into the things of the world, into the knowledge of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. That is where the Noah's time was. They were so doing whatever and behaving, and everything was permissible and everything was okay, because the line of what is right and wrong, those guidelines had blurred so much. It's like now we're coming back into the time of Noah. Like, look at the world. Everything is blurred. This kind of some knowledge that have come into the world saying this is what the Bible means, this is what this word means, this is what this word means. It makes us to disrespect God, disrespect the way, the guidelines and the things that he's put in place. It blurs all those things. It makes everything, it's not really like that. It's this way. So it blurs those lines between the light and the darkness. And many people, it says in the end that it will be rare to find one person. I don't want to be that person. It's going to be rare to find one person that actually worships God, that actually gives that offering, that sacrifice of praise, of their soul fully devoted and uplifting to the Father. That brings us to what is a son of God. It is a grown-up. It is not baby. It is not living on milk. Babies only live on milk 1-2 years. They don't live very long on milk. So why should we as Christians live 20 years on milk, on the same regurgitated milk? quickly start eating the meat. Quickly start being fed on those things and learning how to walk yourself. I know the Lord carries us, but as children, He carries us. As toddlers, He carries us. As babies, He carries us. But eventually, you walk with Him. Because that, as a grown-up, as a son of God, you take the responsibility of loving. You have the responsibility in the love, in cherishing, respecting, beholding His love in awe. That means doing due diligence, doing your own work, walking out your salvation, not always needing somebody else, like all the time. As a baby, yes. As you're growing up, yes, in those things. You need to be guided, you need to be shown, but then eventually you start speaking yourself. Like, the things in the world right now, the fear that they're putting out in the world, a lot of people are probably panicking because they're like, where's my backbone in this? Did I develop my backbone? Can I do this myself? Many people are going to be calling out to the Lord. But God is going to say, I've already told you what to do. I've told you to travel upwards, and I've told you how to do it. As mature sons of God, that requires hard work, walking out your own salvation, patience, knowing that there's a process, and like a baby, I want it now and give it to me now, or there's going to be a tantrum. Patience in knowing things come at the right time, at the right season, things have to align, and patience in keeping the faith of what He showed you in the Spirit, keeping the faith of what you've seen, and you know it will come through because you've seen it, because you've traveled upwards, and He's shown you in the realm of the Spirit what His will is for you. You being patient in keeping the faith that He's given you, harboring the faith, shielding the faith, not letting anything get to that faith. Being careful. It's that love. It's the faith that He's giving you. Be there when it's not comfortable. Showing up when it's not comfortable. Being diligent to go to Him. Being diligent to cast all your cares upon Him. Remembering your God. Remembering the God that created you. You shall remember the Lord thy God. In all your days, in all your ways, you shall keep the name of the Lord before you, because the name of the Lord, Yod He, Vav He, is a covenant name. Those that are His call upon His name and they are saved, because that name is the covenant name. The Lord shall remember you. It is the covenant that He made with Abraham. You are part of that covenant. As you call, as His own children call upon that name, they shall be saved. They shall be delivered. Help shall come to them. Mercy shall be at their doorstep when they wake up. When they open that door to go out, mercy shall go with them. Because of that name, because His children call upon the name, and He remembers them because His children remember the covenant-keeping God. Holding the responsibility of the awe of His love is being appreciative. Being appreciative when you have a prayer and God answers that prayer in your life, it is very wise to go in prayer just for the sake of thanking Him, just for that sake alone. When your prayer is answered, there has to be time spent in appreciation, in gratefulness, in calling upon, in remembering where I was before that prayer was answered, and having that respect, that awesomeness towards God, that you are so amazing. I remember you, before I didn't have this, now I have this. You carried this out. You brought this into my life. You made it happen because I called upon your name. And I remembered the covenant you had with me. And you remembered the covenant, the promise that you gave to me. You come with appreciation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And you thank in great ways. And you remember where you were before that thing. And you thank him fully for what he has given you. When you really love someone, you know that it's a precious thing. When you love that person and what do? You respect that person. You are careful around them. Even when is in correction, you give words of love. Just like the Father, you have respect, you have appreciation because you are taking care of that love. You are careful to respect the Father, as opposed to fear. What does fear does? Fear the Lord. What does it do? That makes you feel small, and you can't love because your heart shrinks. You can't take responsibility as sons, as mature, grown-up sons of God, because you feel weak. Can't do anything. But awe, what does awe does? It enlarges your ability to take responsibility, because awe and love works together. They live together. You cannot have fear and love together. What is a grown-up son of God? It's being responsible for your connection to the Creator, your Father, every moment, every day, reestablishing that connection, reestablishing that feeling inside of you. Being in awe means not abusing the love, because then the love turns into judgment. And just as happened in the times of Noah, where that line is being blurred between what's right and wrong, that's happening right now. Grateful, thankful, not misusing, not taking it lightly, not abusing the awesome power of God. You should be holy. What does that mean? Following these guidelines, these rules that he's given us, it's not for taking away something good from us, but so that we would be whole. Because when we are whole in spirits, in alignment with our spirit, soul, and body, when that alignment comes, we are whole. So that means we can be mature sons when we become whole. And as you are becoming mature sons, it means that you are gaining wholeness in your life. You're taking full responsibility in holding the light, the power, the awesome power of God that is inside of you, and coming in awe-ness to him as the saints that you are supposed to be. You are separated from the world. Don't be a part of them. Don't go unto them, because what's going to be happening is that knowledge of the tree of evil is going to blur the lines inside of you of what's good and what's right and what's wrong. That's when you'll get into trouble. So be as saints. He separated us from the world. Stay separated. Stay diligent. Do not get caught up with the things of the world. We're supposed to be saints unto him, devotedly coming unto him, giving unto him praise, and receiving from him that life, receiving life and light and love and his spirit, connecting with that spirit. Psalm chapter 2 says, work the work of God in awe, or serve the Lord with fear and rejoice in trembling. Work the work of God in awe and rejoice with a tremble. After we see his power, we rejoice. There is that other side of it, because it is both awe and love. It is both awe and singing and dancing. Psalm 100 says, do the work of God with happiness. Approach him with joyous singing and dancing. Make a joyful noise to the Lord. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come into his presence with singing. Means there's two sides of it. There is the awe, and then there is the love, the rejoicing, the singing, the dancing, the happiness of it. It is both two things. It is not fear, because fear makes you small. Fear makes you not be able to take responsibility for yourself as working the works of the kingdom of heaven and being responsible for the connection that you have with the Creator. John 6:28 says, "What shall we do to do the works of the kingdom of heaven? Believe upon me," Yeshua said. Believe upon the Lord. The works of the kingdom, being sons, being co-creators, being grown-ups, no longer babies in these things. Proverbs 9:10, the beginning of wisdom is, we always hear that is fear, but the beginning of wisdom is awe. In the world, this Noah time, there was no awe in God. It was like, oh, God's washed out and in all his ways. Oh, it's not really true. I got some kind of knowledge tells me that that's not really what it means. Or, so the whole fear of the Lord or the awe of the Lord of his power is like dumbed down and blurred. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and judgment comes upon those who do not follow wisdom. And the knowledge of the holy is understanding. Our mind is being transformed with the knowledge. The knowledge helped us to be transformed, to gain understanding. That is our work that we are doing. That is our part. That is our growing as the sons of God that we are doing. Every level that you are to become as the sons of the grown up of the sons of God as creators, it starts with awe, because that is where the power comes into you to be like him, to do the things that he do, to cast out demons, to have the power inside of you, to grow that faith, that ability, that strength in your spirit to be able to stand against those things and not be afraid, to, in the midst of the fear that is going in the world, to not be afraid. For by me thy days shall be multiplied, says the Lord, and the years of thy life shall be multiplied. These are the good things he gives unto you. Blessed be the name of the Lord. I love you so much. Thank you so much for listening. God bless you, and God keep you mightily in this time. May you be strengthened with him. As you continue to look upon him, do not look upon the things of the world. Do not turn around. Do not be burned at the evil of the sight of the things that are going on in the world. Stay vigilant. Stay focused on the things of the Lord. Preserve yourself as saints. Keep yourself mightily in the presence of the Lord. Commit yourself unto the Lord. Do not get involved in those. Do not listen. Cut your ears off from the knowledge of the tree, of the knowledge of good and evil that is going on and obscuring the line between what is a covenant keeping God keeping you in. Keep in those things. Remain in those things. And God bless you, precious, devoted, beloved sons. We are all sons of the Most High, beloved God. And we remain in him. We follow him to the new age, to the age of unity and oneness. We shall enter into that age. That kingdom shall be revealed in us as we are lifted up. Because God is lifting up those who want to be lifted up at this time. Those that want to be judged, those that want to be in the things of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil shall receive judgment. But those that seek diligently, God is also in the same power, lifting us up in those things. So remain in those things that he may see you worthy and devoted, and he shall lift you up so that we may walk and be the light in the world at this time. Hallelujah.